Right, so hello and welcome back to Books and Things, and welcome to another video, and welcome to an exciting announcement video because this year in April 2024 I am bringing back the TBR Clear Out Readathon. So this April, from the 1st of April to the 30th of April, I'm going to be hosting a readathon called the TBR Clear Out Readathon. Now, I have hosted this readathon once before, back in 2020. The idea behind the TBR Clear Out Readathon is to read books from your TBR. For me, this will be my physical TBR, but this could be your ebook TBR, your audiobook TBR, or just a general long-term TBR list. When I last did this readathon back in 2020, it really helped me get my TBR down a lot, and I haven't hosted the readathon since then, partly because my TBR has been relatively under control until the last few months, or the last year, I suppose. So I thought with my TBR getting a little bit too big again, I would bring back the TBR Clear Out Readathon in 2024 for the month of April, and try and read a lot of the books from my TBR. As I said, last time in 2020, I did read a lot from my physical TBR for the TBR Clear Out Readathon. However, April 2020 was a very weird month because it was the first full month of lockdown, at least in the UK, and I spent the first week of April recovering from COVID. I then had 2 weeks of holiday off work where I was meant to go away and obviously couldn't go away, so I literally had nothing to do but sit in my flat and read. And then I think I had 1 week of April where I was properly working. So in April 2020 I read a lot because it was the only thing that I was doing, which I very much hope will not be the case in April 2024, but still I thought it would be nice to bring back the TBR Clear Out Readathon this year because I have a lot of books on my TBR that I want to read, and I know that is the case with many people who watch my channel as well. So as I said, the whole purpose of the TBR Clear Out Readathon is just to read books from your TBR. This is a low-key casual readathon. If you're taking part, you can use the hashtag TBR Clear Out here on YouTube, on Instagram, or anywhere else you want to. I've also resurrected the old Goodreads group from back in 2020. I've decided not to do a Discord server for this readathon, though I've had fun doing Discord servers for other things, just because I know I'm not going to have much time in April to be moderating or anything like that, and because we'll all be reading different books, I feel like this is more of a let's all get our TBRs down together rather than there'll be lots of things to discuss kind of readathon, I guess. I don't know. We'll stick with the Goodreads group anyway. As I said, I'm not going to be properly moderating it, but it'll be there if anyone does want to chat about the things they're reading this April. As I said, the point of the TBR Clear Out Readathon is just to read books from your TBR, so the only thing you actually have to do to take part in this readathon is read a book or a few books from your long-term TBR. However, I did think it might be fun to have a few optional challenges this year, so I have set 7 optional challenges. So challenge number 1, the first thing, is just to set your own TBR Clear Out goal. So for example, if you want to read 5 books off your TBR, then set your goal for 5 and that's your challenge for the month. If you want to read 10, if you want to read 15, set it as 10, 15, whatever. But I thought this might be a good way to do the TBR Clear Out Readathon because, as I said, it's a low-key casual readathon. There are lots of other readathons going on in April I'm sure people will be taking part in, and it's really about just reading some books off your TBR. So I thought rather than me setting a number of books for people to try and read off their physical TBR, it would be nice to just say, set your own number. It could be 3, 5, 10, 20, whatever you like. And then the other challenges I have are kind of in pairs. So challenge 2 is to read a book that has been on your TBR for a very long time. And challenge number 3 is to read a book that has been on your TBR for a very short time. Challenge number 4 is to read one of the longest books on your TBR. And challenge number 5 is to read one of the shortest books on your TBR. Challenge number 6 is to read a book from your TBR that you fear you have lost interest in. And challenge number 7 is to read a book from your TBR that you are very excited to get to. So I have purposely kind of made the wording here a little bit vague. I haven't said you have to read the longest book or the shortest book on your TBR, just one of the longest books, one of the shortest books. I don't want you to feel that you can't tick off these challenges if you have a book that's been in your TBR for a really long time that you really don't want to read, or if you have War and Peace on your TBR and you don't feel like you can tackle that in a month. Basically, I thought it might just be fun to have a few prompts relating to your TBR, but you can take these if you like, and you also don't have to. As I said, very low-key casual readathon. The idea is just to encourage you to read read some stuff from your long-term TBR in April, and I will be doing just that. I'm going to try really hard with my reading in April to make a big dent in my physical TBR and read a lot of books that have been in my TBR for a while, specifically focusing on the titles that are in this TBR jar, which are the books I've had since before Christmas 2023. My TBR is definitely bigger than I would like it to be, and while I have made a bit of progress through January and February, I would really like to make a lot more progress in April. I think this has probably been a fairly quick video, but I just wanted to introduce the TBR Clear Out Readathon and bring it back for April 2024. I will have a TBR video coming up at some point in March, and hopefully this readathon will really help me make a good dent in my physical TBR. I think I've covered everything I wanted to say, but do let me know down in the comments if you have any thoughts, if you're going to take part in this readathon. If you are going to take part and you make a TBR video, please do tag me or use the hashtag TBR Clear Out. And if you're going to be joining in, do let me know down in the comments what books from your TBR you're really keen to read in the month of April. That's all for now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back very soon with another bookish video.